Hello everybody, what's good? Welcome to my first video of ranking the top 25 best current NBA point guards. So let's start it off with number 25. At number 25, I have Patrick Beverley. I think this is a fair grading for him, even though you might not think he deserves to be on this list. Name one player, that has this good of high intensity and defense. Yeah, no one. So he's the most unique player, or one of the most unique players in the league. But the gradings I gave him are B- shooting, C finishing, C+ playmaking, and A defense. The only reason why he's on this list is because of his great defense and high intensity, so I gave him a 78 overall. I think that's fair for him. Number 24, I have Spencer Dinwiddie. He is good and all, but now that KD and Kyrie are back, he's gonna get a little worse, not get as much playing time. So I give him B- shooting, C+ finishing, B+ playmaking, and C+ defense. I think that's fair because he'll come off the bench and won't be as good as he did last year, even though he had a good season. 23, Malcolm Brogdon. You might say he should be higher on this list, but I don't think he plays his role well as much as the other guys. So I gave him B+ shooting, B finishing, B- playmaking, and C+ defense, and 81 overall. This might be a little low for you, but I think that he's still young, has a lot of talent, and he could be very good one day. I just don't think he plays his role well. I think his role should be to score more points rather than do what he does. So, yeah, 23. 22, Derrick Rose. So Derrick Rose is also a little unique because of his MVP season, and now he's a six-man / decent starter. But you already know that Derrick Rose's playmaking and finishing are both A's. Finishing A, playmaking A-, but then his shooting and defense are both in the C's. Overall, he's a very good player, and one day, now since he's getting older, he's going to start getting a little worse, which is the only downfall of Derrick Rose. But I think I give him an 81 overall. I think it's fair. Next, Dennis Schroeder. One of the reasons why I have him here is because of his six-man. If he wasn't a six-man, if he was like a starter, because on OKC he was a six-man, which made him a little lower. And on the Lakers, who knows what he's going to be. But yeah, if he was a starter, it would have been a little higher. But right now, I give him shooting C, finishing B, playmaking A, defense A, and I give him an 82 overall. I think it's fair for a guy like Dennis Schroeder. He's a very good six-man, but if he wants to get to the next level, he has to be a starter. And he's entering his prime soon, or he already is in his prime, whatever you think. But I think he can still get better. Number 20, Lonzo Ball. This is another case like Malcolm Brogdon in a sense because he's young with a lot of talent, and he can get a lot better than what he is, but he's still a very good player. C shooting, he knows from the media. He's every person on the media is like, Lonzo's fix his form and all that stuff. So he knows he's fixed his shooting. But right now he's a C. B+ finishing. Because he's 6'7". He's a good height advantage for a point guard. So yeah, playmaking A-. He's a very good passer, one of the best passers in the league. Ball handling, that's why it makes it a little lower. He's a good ball handler, just not as good as some other guys like Kyrie. Defense B+, he's a great defender for a point guard, and he's, like I said, he's very young, so who knows what the future has for him. And I give him an 82 overall. I think that's a very fair grade. Number 19, Goran Dragic. He played very average in the regular season, like a 25, 24, 23 point guard, but ever since the playoffs, he's gone up like a rocket. And I hope he can continue that for the next season, but he's getting a little older now, so I don't know how much better he can get, or if he'll start getting worse. But right now, I have B- shooting, B- finishing, playmaking A, and C+ defense, so I give him an 83 overall. That's a fair grade. Yeah. 18, Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is an all-around decent player. He does his role pretty well. Not much to say about Eric Bledsoe. Shooting B, finishing B-, playmaking B+, and defense B, so I give him an 83 overall. So Eric Bledsoe plays his role well, but if he was on a team like, for example, the Knicks, he could be a very good point guard because he would take control over the ball. When on the Bucks, that's not his job. 17, Devontae Graham. He's very good and very young. He's so much potential, but right now I think this is a fair slot. B+ shooting, B finishing, B playmaking, and B defense, 84 overall. Him and Lonzo both are going to make the All-Star game one day. That's what I think. He's a lot of potential. He's good at everything. And if he wants to make it to the playoffs, he's going to take his game to the next level in every single category. That's what I have. 16 John Wall. He's the most controversial pick because he hasn't played basketball in, 1 or 2 years, something like that. And he was amazing when he was back. He's like a top 7 point guard. But since he was injured, I don't want to rank him top 10 because I think that's unfair. So that 16's fair for right now. Even though he's probably like the top 10 most talent, top 5 when he was playing, but he was injured, so you never know what could happen. But B shooting, A minus finishing, A playmaking, and D defense. Overall, I'll give him an 85 overall, even though we know his talents could be 90 plus. Right now, 15 for VanVleet. He is entering his prime, or in his prime, however you want to put it. So he is either going, I think he's going to take his game to the next level this season and make the All-Star team. But for right now, no. Sorry to put it, but no. Shooting A minus, finishing C plus, playmaking B, and defense B plus. Overall 85. That's fair for a guy like Fred VanVleet. He's good and all, but he's not like special. That's how I could put it. Number 14, Jrue Holiday. He's another very good point guard. I didn't know if he was a shooting guard or point guard, and I looked on a lot of websites, and they said he was a point guard, so I'm ranking him here. He could be higher, you could say, but yeah, I think the guys above him are just a little better because they made the All-Star game or they've averaged more points. But shooting B minus, finishing B plus, playmaking A, defense A, give him an 85 overall. That's fair or a little low for Jrue Holiday. But I think these guys, since they made the All-Star game or they just played a little better than him, I didn't know what to put Jrue Holiday. So 13, Kyle Lowry, like this is an example. He's higher than Jrue Holiday. But yeah, I don't know. You guys could switch these back and forth however you want. Shooting B plus, finishing C, playmaking A, and defense B plus. He's good and all. I think he'll take his game a little bit better this season. And he won't have a crazy jump. He'll have a minor jump. So I give him an 86 overall. D'Angelo Russell. This one was a hard pick because he's bounced around teams and you never know what the right fit is. So I think on the Timberwolves, it's the right fit. And I think he'll do a little bit of everything. He'll score a good amount, get some assists, and yeah, just be a good playmaker. So A shooting, C plus finishing, B plus playmaking, and B minus defense. And also I think he would work really well with Anthony Edwards because you already know Anthony Edwards is an athletic fiend, freak, whatever you want to say. So he's just going to drive to the rim, and kick it to D'Angelo Russell for an easy 3. So yeah, I think these two are going to be very good together. And then you have Cat on top of that to also be in the corner. 87 overall for D'Ange. He's also very young. So much potential to be great. 2011, De'Aaron Fox. You could flip D'Ange and De'Aaron, but I think De'Aaron has the edge. That's just my personal opinion. So I give him shooting B, finishing B+, playmaking A+, defense A. He's a very good playmaker, and I think he'll be very good. He is very good, but he'll be, like, next level good this season or next season because he signed that max contract, and he's on the Kings, so he's carry a little bit. So overall, 88. 10, Drama Morant. Yeah, he's very good, so much potential. He carries the Grizzlies with his dynamic duo, him and Jeremy Jackson. Very bright future ahead of them. Shooting B, finishing A, playmaking A, defense B minus. Overall, I give him an 88. And also, yeah, he won Rookie of the Year, which is very good. That's why he's also this high. But you never know. Number 9, Kemba Walker. I feel like he could have been a little higher, 8.76. But I decided that those 8 and 7 could have been swapped. But I think he belongs here. I give him shooting A, finishing C, playmaking A, defense C+, and an overall an 88 overall. That's how I give Kemba. He's still in his prime. I don't know how much better he can get, but he's still very good. 8, Ben Simmons. I feel like him and Kemba and Ben Simmons could be swapped, how you look at it, but Ben Simmons is very unique, as everyone knows. He's a point guard with awful shooting. Even though he's been working at in the training videos, all those Instagram stuff, you just see his improvement, but not in the game yet. So shooting F, finishing A+, playmaking A, and defense A, 89 overall. It's really hard to give Ben Simmons something higher, like a 90, when his shooting's that bad. But he's so much potential to be so good. Number 7, Chris Paul. So, yeah, Chris Paul is good and all. He made the OKC great. So shooting A minus, finishing C, playmaking A plus, defense B minus, and 91 overall. I do think Chris Paul is going to start declining because of his age, but he's still very, very good. 6, Jamal Murray. Him and Chris Paul could be swapped however you look at it, but I think Jamal Murray is better just because of what he did in the playoffs was phenomenal, and because he's young, so I think he's going to go up, and Chris Paul is going to go down. Right now, shooting B+, finishing A-, playmaking A, and defense C+, and I give him a 92 overall. I think that's a fair grade for him. He's going to be very good, and I think this year he'll make the All-Star game and be very good. Number 5, Russell Westbrook. Shooting C, he's not the greatest shooter. Playmaking B+, and defense A-. So, with a guy like Russell Westbrook, you need a perfect team around him, and you'll be great. But if you have, like, Harden, like happened, it wasn't a good fit. So they needed guys that could stretch the floor and shoot the three, because Westbrook likes to drive and finish or drive and kick out. So, for example, let me think of a guy off the top of my head. Like Jeremy Grant. He could stretch the floor and just shoot threes, and that's what Russell Westbrook needs, so someone like that. So I give him a 92 overall. 4, Trae Young. He was another weird one to grade because his defense isn't good. It's like another case of a Ben Simmons, but like a better version, I think. Shooting A+, one of the best shooters in the league. Finishing B, playmaking A, and defense D+. He knows he has to get better at defense, and I do think he'll become a better defender. Number 3, Kyrie Irving. You guys might think this is high, but Kyrie 3. But I think what Kyrie does is so good, and if he stays healthy, he's one of the best point guards in the league. But shooting A-, finishing A, playmaking A+, mostly because of his handles, and defense B+. Overall, 96. I don't know how good he's going to be with KD, if that fit, but what I want to say real quick is 2 and 1 is very difficult, but I say Stephen Curry's 2. You guys all might think, no, it should be Stephen Curry 1, Stephen Curry 1. It's all how you look at it. It's basketball. I don't know who's better, but I'm giving this to Dame. Shooting A+, because it's Steph, the best shooter of all time. Finishing B, playmaking A+, defense B-. Give him a 97 overall. And last but not least, Damian Lillard. Shooting A+, finishing A, playmaking B+, and defense B, so I give him a 98 overall. You could swap 1 and 2. There's going to be so many arguments about 1 and 2. If you ask, 50% of people could say Dame, 50% could say Stephen Curry. It's just how you look at it. And then honorable mentions. I have Ricky Rubio. He didn't make the list. Rajon and Mike Conley. All a little old. I think they're getting a little worse now. But they're still good. Ricky Rubio, Mike Conley, Rajon Rondo. And also the 3 young guys. Kobe White, Chris Dunn, and DeJounte Murray. They all have a lot of potential, some more than the other. Like, I think Kobe White will be the best out of these 3 from seeing what he's done. But you never know. And in the comments, please tell me how you feel about this list. Because this took me, I don't even know how long. But, like, I love to hear everything. Because when I watch these videos, I'm like, what are you doing? Do this guy instead of this guy. So please comment down below. And don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you.